HTML is not space sensitive, and that becomes a problem when you want to create new lines in your content. So I'm going to show you a quick example of how HTML is not space sensitive, and then we're going to create new lines. So first, this is a paragraph with no spaces, and a second line in here. I'm going to save that, and when I open it up in my browser, it's all on the same line. Now what I can do is I can right click and go to view source, and the source shows up the way I wrote it in my editor. However, I wanted 2 lines, not 1. And it doesn't just happen with new lines either. It happens with too many spaces. Here's an example. Now if I refresh the page, all those spaces just turned into 1 space, and if I look at the source code hasn't changed. It's the exact same. That's the way the browser interprets the information that you're giving it. So when you give it more than 1 space, like what you see here, the browser automatically thinks, okay, show just 1 space. Now to create a new line, we use the BR element. This is one of those elements that closes on itself, so it does not need an opening or closing tag, and that's because there's no content to put inside of it. So if you put a BR here, put a BR here where we want another new line, save that. So we want a line break at the end of this period. We want a line break at the end of this period. We want another line break, but nothing on that line. And then we want our sentence that has way too many spaces in it. Save that. And now it shows up the way that we want, to the exception of the spaces. Now let's add one more line break there. I'm going to leave some space for us here, and I want more than 1 space between this and this. Those pipes, if I show you real quick, you can highlight it, right? You highlight that pipe, there's a space in there, you highlight the other pipe, there's a space right before it. But if I add a lot of spaces, nothing happens. I'm refreshing the page, nothing is happening. So instead what I want to do, and this is a little more advanced HTML, we want the AND sign, NBSP, semicolon. If you save that, put a space on either side of it, that counts as a space character. That character then is interpreted the same way as any other character in an alphabet is interpreted. So now when I refresh, you see I have 3 spaces in there. And when I look at the source code, I have 1 space here, I have the space that we told it to make, and we have 1 space after that. Now that's a little bonus to this video. Right now that's not important to know. So your task for this video is to not add too many spaces. Your task is simply to create a new paragraph, add new lines, and verify you did it correctly.